Hey, welcome back, chat room. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be where you are.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It's so good to see you. Thanks so much. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is, what day is today? Today is October 24th, 2019. We're going to write a little bit of code today. How's it going there, chat room? How are you? There's Copper Beardy. Oh my gosh, starting it off quick here.
Musical Bookworm just resubscribed for 7 months.
Thank you so much, Musical Bookworm. I really appreciate the sub. Hugo!
The Hugo doll just resubscribed for 11 months. Wow, 11 months. Good that's decimal 11, not binary 1-1.
Yeah, good thing. Thank you so much, Hugo. Appreciate the resub. We'll make donations for both of those to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Let me finish saying hello to folks here. Copper Beardy, Killer Coder, PT, Wolfhound Jesse, Smap, good to see you. Jobbin PA, hello. Costa Rica, got your coffee. I've got my Madrinas. Look at that. You can see through it with the green on the bottom. We'll just hold it like that. D.D. Walsh, good morning from Bellevue, where the peanut M&Ms are flowing. Wow. Are they with donuts though? Peanut M&Ms with donuts. I don't know. Nice dark roast coffee to keep you awake. Nice. But it's in the afternoon there, Copper Beardy. Stelzy, good to see you. Ancient Coder, good afternoon. And John Calloway is here. Hello. So happy to see everybody. We're back. It's Thursday. This is a 2 for Thursday. We're going to be live for 2 hours here, writing some code together, and then I hope you follow me over to the Dev Intersection channel afterwards. I'm not going to be able to raid right into it. I spent about 2 hours this morning trying to set up that raid configuration. Couldn't get it working. But I hope you join me just after this. We'll be over on the Dev Intersection channel, and I'll be interviewing Paul Yuchnowitz, and we're going to be talking about services that developers need to know about on Azure, and hopefully I'll be able to get Paul to square me up here, get my mind wrapped around some of these Azure services a little bit better. That'll be over on the Dev Intersection channel a little bit later. Hugo, thanks for the shout out there. Appreciate that. Donut M&Ms sound amazing. Now, do donut M&Ms, are they round and they're missing the M in the middle? Or is it a donut with M&Ms in it? Are they the little M&M candies and there's no middle? I don't know. Hey, Sean, good to see you. Let me get some music playing here in the background. I'm going to go back to music to code by today. We're going to let's play Red. There we go. This is music to code by from our friend Mr. Carl Franklin. It's scientifically designed, it's engineered to get you in the flow so that whatever task it is that you're working on, you can get focused on, and all your other concerns can kind of fade away. You get into that uber state of focus. Check it out, mtcb.plop.com. Hugo already executed the music command there. You can run that at any time in channel to get a link to go get your copy of Music to Code By today. Do they have the chocolate coating? Yeah, do the donuts have the chocolate coating? Oh, that would be a thing. I would hope so. The candy shell coating, right, that you have on the M&Ms. So, let's see, what are we talking about today? We spent some time yesterday. We were going through, we have this concern, we have this thing going on. We need a donuts command. You're right, Hugo. We have this thing happening with the distributed bot that we've been working on tacos, yeah. That when the service restarts, it has a really bad experience. The screen goes gray and the widgets don't refresh. We want to make that persist, that state persist across restarts so we can deploy new updates as they happen. And we also want to be able to have that gray screen go away and minimize the impact on folks that might be using our follower train widget or any of the other widgets that we're working on. Mr. Regs!
Mr. Regs just resubscribed for 14 months. 14.
Indeed, 14. Thank you so much, Mr. Regs. That is phenomenal. Thank you so much. We'll make another donation to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. We've already crossed our rainbow beard goal. We're going to have a rainbow beard at Dev Intersection not later today, but the Dev Intersection event in Las Vegas. We'll be sporting the rainbow beard as a thank you to you, our viewers that are supporting the channel. But we're also working towards this. We're going to have a 12-hour party when we hit 10,000 followers. Now, the way that the numbers are tracking right now, we're looking at this being a New Year's party. If we keep up the pace, it could be a New Year's party. But I think we're going to end up sliding a little bit into January. We'll see. We'll see. But for every 100 followers that we get to, I'm going to give away another sticker pack live here on stream. A bunch of folks have received theirs. I think I have one more that I need to send out to Germany. But tell your friends, tell your families, tell your pets. Sign up for Twitch. Start following, and we'll have some giveaways here. I've got a bunch of giveaways I've got to take care of here. Let's see. I've got 3 of these things over here. I've got another signed Code Party hat. I've got 2 signed Code Party hats to give away. I've got another plain Code Party hat. I've got some stuff to give away. I've got some live coder backpacks that we can give away. Yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff here we could do. But we are not far from that next one. I'll do stickers for that one. Maybe for Halloween we'll put together a live coders swag bag that we'll send out or something. Yeah, let me work on that. I have a knack for being on a good time. Respect, says Adam TT. Thank you. Thank you very much. I work hard at that. I wake up on time, have breakfast. I do the thing. I just thought of a good piece of live coder swag. What do you got for me, Hugo? Let me know. Everybody knows that the best live coder swag is the Live Coder's keyboard. A small accessory carrying case for cables and the like. That's not bad. That's not bad. For traveling around stuff, that's pretty good. I would want to consult my swag consigliaries, Svava Blount and Fairy Wings, because they helped pick out the swag that absolutely killed for TwitchCon this year. You would totally buy that. Oh, well, that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother kettle of fish. Swagliaries. Yes, there you go. They've got the insight on this one. Because I still have a couple of the keyboards. I got just a few extra of those. I need to figure out what to do with these. So that could be a thing, right? That's a keyboard in there. Too early for big words like that. The backpack holds a lot of knitting stuff, says Svava. But the idea of a little key, a little case for your cables and things, that's not bad. That's not bad. We have an idea for our friends that come to TwitchCon Europe. We have an idea for an amazing... Nah, I'm not going to say amazing. For a pretty good piece of swag. We'll see about that. The keyboard is cool, says Adam. The carrying case is good, though. Okay. Question at second round interviews for junior dev positions. Does Microsoft still focus on coding questions? I don't know at that point. Maybe. Depends on who you're interviewing with. I don't know. A custom live coders Euro challenge coin. That's cool too. That's pretty cool too. Let me open up Notepad, write some of these down. Right, a cable carrying case. And I think at some point I gotta make these available if folks want to buy them on their own. What did I miss there? The Euro challenge coin. All right. Hey, M. Holloway, good to see you. All right, let's get back into this. Let's talk about persisting our data across restarts. Let me head over to our code. We're in Ubuntu 1804. Yeah, I think that's the version. And I am using Visual Studio Code with .NET Core, so I can program with C# and .NET using Linux. I'm looking at you, Visual Studio Code. You make me sad. All right. Let's carry our production streaming gear in case what is customized to us, right? Something like that. A production streaming case? No, I'm not making those Pelican cases with the Live Coders logo on the side. No, sorry, not going to do that one. So, we've been working through trying to get our code to persist across, not code, our widget states to persist across restarts. When we're sending things down to the client, there's a SignalR connection back and forth to the server, right? This is a live connection. It's a two-way socket connection back and forth between the browser and the server. And if the server restarts for whatever reason, it gets disconnected and we have the state of all of our widgets goes away. That's a problem. So what we would like to do is put together a way that we can save that somehow. And we started putting together an HTTP controller here so that we could, an API controller that listens on a web endpoint so that we could get the state of those widgets and push it into whatever state of the widget is we're presenting, right? So we maintain that state. And as the widget state changes, save it, post those changes into whatever it is that we're persisting with. Now, the first thing that we probably should persist with is some sort of a database that's running on a outside machine, right? Outside of our application, right? So it could be run on another host. It could be run on a whole nother service in a whole nother cloud provider if we wanted. So let's see what we can do to connect to and save data back and forth with that. A swag tie would have been sweet. You'd buy that. A microphone flag. So a flag to put around the microphone so you look like a professional broadcaster. That's not bad. Let me put together just a real quick service here that'll connect out to, let me think. Well, part of me wants to put one together since I'm using Azure that'll go into Azure table storage. And for each channel, for each widget, store a block of data. How's that sound? Just a little JSON blob of configuration goo that we can save and be able to load very, very quickly. We can also have it persist when we're running locally to just save to disk as a JSON file. We'll be able to swap out those two providers, but I want to create a widget widget persistence definition, widget persistence something. So what I'm going to do, let's create I'm going to create under data here. I have currency repository. I'm going to create another file here. Let's call this iWidget state repository. Right, I'm going to use I'm going to use a repository-like pattern here. So let's create a namespace for. I've got to get this rename happening here. So this will be an interface. We're going to define the contract of how this thing looks, and this is an iWidget state repository. Right, we're just going to define an interface. For those of you that aren't familiar with C#, allows us to define what it looks like, what one of these widget state repositories looks like. How do you interact with it? So I need to have some sort of a get method that's going to get data and return it. But that data is going to come back. You know what? I'm going to force it to a dictionary. just a key value pair dictionary, string. And we'll call this get for just get, because we're going to ask for a channel name and a widget name. Right, and we're just defining what this signature looks like. So I've got my using statement for that. And we need to save. So we're going to call this save string. No, I wanted a string. Channel name, string widget name, and then we'll want that dictionary of type string, and we'll call this the payload that we're saving. Okay, so we've got this very simple definition. What I'm thinking is we'll turn this dictionary string into a little JSON document and stick it in the repository. So we'll implement an Azure one, we'll implement one that just saves to disk, and we'll call it a day. And the reason I want to make sure that I have that one that saves to disk, not just so you can run it locally, but also so that when you're testing, when you're building, when you're doing development, you don't have to be connected to Azure to do all the Azure things to integrate with, because that'd be a pain in the neck. Know what I mean there, Vern? So, what do you think, chat room? Am I on the right page here? Are we doing... I feel like this is kind of like no-brainer code here. Like, of course, that's what we're going to do, right? Hey, Spicy Condiment, good to see you. So... Alright, let's roll over. Now that I have a widget state repository object defined, I think I want to go up into here, into my main project. I could bust it out and put those, my implementations of my widget state repository somewhere else. Yeah, I didn't set a project flag. Let's set that. Let's say building persistence mechanisms to allow the chatbot to survive service restarts. There we go. Nice simple save get with the dictionary looks encouraging. Right. You're right. Let's keep it as simple as possible. Oh, Smab already... Oh, gosh, Smab, you started typing one... I didn't even notice. I am sorry. You know what? I'm going to grab Smab's version. Let me save that. Thank you. Hey, assuming that the repository will do some I.O., would go for async await. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're right. These should be tasks so that we can make it async. Yep, do that. And we're gonna make this return a task as well. Yeah. Alright. So then up here in my data folder inside of the actual web project, let's start creating an Azure widget state repository. Azure widget state repository. Because I'm going to use Azure table storage. Because I've built with this interface, right, we're going to be able to... Not games. I didn't... Right, we could swap in, you know, any other persistence mechanism. Yes, we're going to be coupled to Azure if we use this one. However, I am deploying to Azure. You could certainly set up so you're saving to Mongo or MySQL. This is where I'm deciding to save my persistence data. So we'll call this Azure widget state repository, and it's an I widget state repository. Now I should be able to control dot, get my using statement. Thank you for the follow, Kay Hellang. Oh my gosh, I think I know who that is. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. There we go. Got all my using statements in. So, right, I should be able, consequently, to drop a switch statement that chooses which one of these to use. All right, I'm really enjoying. I'm enjoying maybe a little bit too much my cafe vanilla this morning. I can feel I'm already about halfway through that, and gosh, we're not even 20 minutes into the show. That's a problem. Dalek asks a question here. Let me put that up. Is .NET Core easy to deploy on hosting or a dedicated server with Linux? Yes, it is. With .NET Framework, you expected there to be a framework installed running on the server because you're always going to Windows servers. When you're with .NET Core, you can actually package up all the things that you're referencing from the framework and put them in the same folder as your application when you deploy it out to a Linux server. In this way, you don't really need to have things on the Linux server before you get there. There's great instructions to set up and run with Nginx or Apache that are available from docs.microsoft.com. And also, there's great instructions if you want to run inside of a Docker container and just deploy a container that's pre-built for you, and all you have to do is put your application into it and deploy the container, listen on port 80. That's great to set up and get running as well. So Dalek, there's some great options for this. I encourage you to check out the docsmicrosoft.com for information about how to do the deploy. It's real easy to do, and a lot of folks are opting to use Linux deployments, just like we're doing here. We're deploying a container to Linux App Service on Azure and finding great success and great performance too. So, best of luck to you, Dalek. That's a little bit of an answer to your question there. You're thinking about learning Java or C# for web backend. Both are great object-oriented, strongly typed languages that you're going to find folks in the enterprise really, really enjoy using. It's much easier to find a job in those languages than in some of the open source languages, only because there's so many enterprises that use those languages. So you might not be building an outward-facing product, but you'll be able to find a job working in the software industry more easily, I'll say. So, thank you for the questions. I appreciate that, and I hope you stick around. I hope you enjoy what you're seeing here. So, I've got these two that I've created here. Thank you for the follow, Callie9, and oh my gosh, we're almost there. Thank you, Dalek, for the follow as well. 1 to go, and we will tick that over. This isn't the same number I'm seeing on... This always happens to me. Why does this happen to me? Blunt Test, thank you for the follow. Now that says 8,500. Let me double check the official Twitch numbers, which haven't updated. Yo, Blunt Test, welcome. Good to see you. The numbers on Twitch haven't ticked over. So, you know what? I have a feeling Twitch has been having a couple problems there. You know what? Let's do this anyway. Can I give away some stickers real quick here, friends? We're a Blunt Test. I'll answer that real quick here. Let me grab that. So this is a distributed chatbot that we've been building, and I say distributed because it's set up so that it can run on multiple threads and multiple hosts, so it will be able to scale in crazy ways. We're using C# and .NET Core. We're coding in Linux with Visual Studio Code, and we're building so that our chatbot can persist state across restarts. That's what we're working on today, so that we can deploy new versions without impacting folks that are currently using the bot. So I'm getting ready to save and persist state here with these two methods, to get state out of a repository or to save state to a repository. But first, I think we need to do a sticker giveaway, because we just crossed 8,500 followers. So let me kick that off with our favorites, the Lash tools here. All right. if you're in the chat room and you'd like to win a sticker pack, just like Delta JCKC, drop an exclamation point here, just like M. Hollow I did there, and your name will go in the participants box here, and you could win a set of stickers. Let me kick up some music here. What do you say? We get some music playing here. We'll do this. That's a thing. Yeah, waiting music indeed, right? No, it'd be something more like No, not and then. No and then. Back just in time. That's right, Hugo. Exclamation point here, and we'll put you in the raffle. We'll put you in the giveaway to get some stickers. Actually, no, it'd be more... You know what? For this time of year, the music should be... Oh, yes. It's time.
Let me add some value.
Gary! Oh, my goodness.
It's bananas, B-I-N-I-N-I-S.
No, that's not how you spell bananas. MBB with the no end then. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah. Here we go. What do you say we give away some stickers? My wife makes fun of me whenever I drop into the big voice. Hey, what's with the big voice? Like, I don't know. That's what I do. I've got the voice, all right? You got a problem with that? Spicy Condiment wants some stickers. I have... Gosh, there's 3 more minutes in this song. I'm going to pause that. All right, what do you say? Let's do this. That all? No more? Oh, yeah, she's... No. Here we go. Big voice. Tubular bells for the tune. Nah, I don't have tubular bells. Thank you for the follow. Easy Light 376. All right, let's do this. Let's hit this. Exclamation point here one more time. And darn Skippy with the hype. Absolutely. Trans-Siberian Orchestra would be tremendous to put in there. Nelson jumping in. Right? Let's do this. Hello, Caparino. Quick! Exclamation point here, and you can get a pack of .NET stickers. Dalek asks, do I know any other languages or only just C Sharp? I know Java. I know JavaScript, TypeScript. Of course, HTML, CSS. Yes, I said JavaScript. All right, fine. VB, of course. I was learning F Sharp. I have to get back in on F Sharp. I've set a goal that I want to learn Python in the new year. No words. No words. It's all good. So, English from time to time, yeah. VB, absolutely. So, but C Sharp is my deal. I mean, come on. I named myself after the language. Ruby, that's another one that I know. I've done Ruby. It's been a while. It's been, 10 years since I've done Ruby. Well, let's give away some stickers, eh? Oh, you dog. It moved on to the other feed. Look at that. F-Sharp Fridays used to be a thing. Yeah, I want to get back into that. Let's give away some stickers. I'm going to send these anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter where you are. For anybody, we get through these follows and we'll send them out. We're going to send it to Ashdev. Congratulations. You just won a set of stickers. C# Fritz stickers. Here, I've got a couple of them here. Still in their bags. Right, stuff like the Super C#, and there's the Rainbow Bearded Octocat. Can you see it? It's in it. There you go. There's a whole bunch of them in there. Thank you so much, Ashdev. Almost rigged. MBB, didn't you already get some stickers? I thought they already won. Thank you so much. Let me drop a line to Ashdev. Whisper me your address, and I will send stickers. There we go. All right. Here we go. Sorry, Shy Sharp. You missed it by about 2 minutes. If you won them again, it would be a random subscription giveaway time. Oh, well, okay. That's a thing. So let me get the music playing again. No, we'll go back to this music. No, that's bad. Bad idea. One could never have too many stickers. My problem is I hoard them thinking there's no place good enough to use them. I know that feeling. That's definitely a thing. They look awesome. Thank you, Ashdev. You're going to get a set mailed out to you. So drop me a line with your address there. I started a whisper with you, and we will get that sent out. You missed the email. Oh, gosh. Sorry about that. Ooh, okay. I haven't mailed stickers there yet, but I have mailed other things. Not a problem. Mine Zero asks, let me cue that up. So because that's a good question I need to answer. Am I speaking at Ignite next month? I will be hosting Ignite Live on Tuesday. I've got 3 different shows I'm hosting that day, and I will be giving a theater session at Ignite, but you will find me at Microsoft Ignite, yes. About 2 weeks off, we'll be there. So, there you go. Other things? One of the Live Coders team members was in Australia, and I sent them their jersey. I mailed a jersey to Australia. That was a big deal. Can you send me stickers to add to the giveaway, or is this a streamer team thing? Sure, you can send me stickers. Sure, John. My address, you can see the address, the post office box is just below the video here. If anybody wants to send me stuff, there's the P.O. box if you want to send something to me. Carrie is still looking forward to hearing what comes out at Ignite. New things at Ignite. Okay, let's get back into this. Let's get back into our project here. Because our project... It's alive! Oh my gosh, Carrie! For all the things.
All the things.
Yes, absolutely. Out of the country for Ignite, have to catch up with everything when you get back. I wish I was out of the country for Ignite. That would be fun. So I want this to connect to and use Azure Table Storage to save and retrieve data. So I need to get the Azure Storage libraries into my project so that I can use that. So let's go to NuGet, and I need Azure Storage. So there we go. Windows Azure. Wait a sec. That hasn't been touched since 2018. Azure Storage Blob. Azure.storage.blobs. Client enables working with Azure Storage Blob service for reading. Where's no, they put table storage somewhere else. Azure Storage, like Microsoft.azure.storage. I want to find like .table. Microsoft.azure.storage. Let's see if there's a .table that pops up. Not a Robert table, but a .table. And I think they put it in with... what's it called? Hey, Fairy Wings, thanks for the host. NuGet Azure Table Storage. I think they put it in with Cosmos. Yeah. .NET, please upgrade to the new .NET standard. Microsoft Azure Cosmos Table. Client library enables working with the Azure Cosmos DB Table API as well as Azure Table Storage. I don't like that I have to install Cosmos DB in order to use the basic table storage. That's something that I see as you're asking me to install something that I'm not using. Discord's running fine for me over here as well, yeah. Microsoft Ignite is in Florida. It's right on the edge. No, it's actually in the middle of Florida, but... So yes, it's a dependency. So I'm going to add that to my project. So let me get in the right folder here. And I can paste that, and let's install table storage. Cool. So if I go to the project site, I think there's a help page here that'll tell me, okay, for a project site that looks like documentation. You know? Okay. Turnkey global distribution. I don't care. Table offerings, latency, throughput, global distribution. Still don't care. I just want something small and fast because it's just key record storage. Just Vanio, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you joining us. And I look forward to seeing you in the chat room. Here are a few pointers to get me started. Yes, please do. Okay. SDK download sample. I don't... This is release notes. What do you mean retirement dates? So it's okay. It was released the 2.0 preview. Okay. I is confused. All right. So where's the? Show me tutorial. Sure. How do I set this up? Yeah, I've got to do a thing to add the table storage. Get the API, get a location, create a .NET console object, install the package. We installed the package. Configure your storage connection string. Hey, TBD gamer. Look at that. Look at all the Hey TBD gamers in there. Nice. Just hit 8,500. Look at that. I'm feeling good. I always feels good to see the support from our community. Thank you so much. So let's add a configuration option, right? So that we can pass in here. So we'll call this, we need to give a constructor here, one of these, and we'll receive configuration. And I can control dot on that, get my using statement appropriately. I'm going to control dot one more time, and I'll create a field for configuration. There it is. So my configuration, let's put it into our app settings down here. So let's add let's add widget persistence connection string. Come here, you. Okay. So I've got that. What I should be able to do then is actually get rid of that. Right? And say like this dot connection string equals configuration like that. So now I don't have to carry around the configuration object everywhere. And we can just turn this into, let's create that as a read-only property. Done. Forgive my interacts. Control dot. Control dot is a shortcut to trigger the light bulb over here to get some suggestions for how to improve your code. So, right, bring in some using statements or automatically generate fields or properties, that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's the smart context menu. You can also use table storage locally without changing the implementation because there is a table storage emulator. You're right, Easy Light. You're absolutely right. However, I do also appreciate that some folks don't have all the Azure things installed. They don't. So that's absolutely a thing. Okay. All right, let's look back over here. So once I have the storage connection string, I need a configuration builder add. What? No, that's not it. That's for configuration, just getting the configuration. Parse and validate the connection details. This isn't actually storage at all. Create storage account from connection string, Yahtzee. Cloud storage account.parse storage connection string, and that'll return a storage account. Okay. But then I need to get a table. Is storage account create table client, new table client configuration. Okay. Yeah, all right. All right. All right. All right. And we need a table entity. Okay. So let's create a, right? The table entity is the object that we're actually saving. So let's call this a, we'll put it in, it's only going to be something that we control. So I'll keep it within the state of this class. This may look a little weird. Let's call this widget state entity, and this is a table entity, right? Isn't that what it called it? Isn't that what it called it? Yeah. So now I should be able to control dot on that, and I get my using statement to indicate that this is the Azure table entity. Cool. 2 a.m. Yeah, absolutely. Whew. That is a late night to be staying up. I appreciate you joining us. So when we create this, right, I'm going to have a constructor here for widget state. Has to match casing. There we go. So string the channel name that we're going to be saving and persisting from, and the widget name, right? So there's two things here. There's the partition key and the row key. The partition key is that individual instance, right? The row key, the group, which will be the channel name, right? That's the group of these. The row key will be the widget name. And I think that's it. Right? Tell me information about the row keys. No. No. Introduction. Let me just make sure I know what I'm talking about with these row keys. Only primary index or on partition key and row key. Right. So the combination of the two is okay. Is the unique bit. Okay. Good. Okay. There it is. All right. So we'll say the partition key, right, is the channel name. And we'll also say that the row key is the widget name. This also means that I'm going to want properties. So I can... No, I think we're okay. But I'm going to have that JSON object that I want to persist back and forth. That'll be the payload. And we'll add an extension method to do the transcription back and forth, the conversion back and forth between this. Heck, let's do that. Publics, do I need, yeah. dictionary string get payload. And we'll have another one for set payload, which makes this... Yeah, we're okay. We'll be alright. Get payload as dictionary. We'll be explicit with this. So now I'll do a JSON conversion from that string back into the... I'll just do that serialization, you know? Yes, today is the dev intersection stream. Yes. JSON, what is it? JSON serializer? No. JSON convert. There was a way to do this very quickly. Thank you for the follow. Ting Bangs. Okay, welcome. Ringmus Merle asks, is it worth it to get a master's in computer science? Depends. If you're going to be working in some more scientific, some more advanced computer things, if you're just going to be a software developer, no, it's not worth it. But if you're going to go into some more advanced things around building for computers, right? And I mean, not building applications to run on computers, but building operating systems, building databases, building some of those low-level things that folks need, then I would say consider it. So, you stopped about 90% of the way to your master's, enjoyed it due to the content you were learning, and the company you were working for paid 50%. Yeah. Yeah, master's degrees are extremely valuable. If you're not going to be working somewhere, if you're not going to be using it, it becomes tricky then to say, yes, you should get it or not. So, you only see masters on high-level manager, director type positions, says Daily Disclosure. So there, I mean, at Microsoft, I work with folks who have their PhDs in these things. Because they're the best people in the world that interact with these. So, yeah. Right, I mean, that's a thing. We're going to deserialize back into a dictionary of type string, and it's going to be the payload that we're deserializing. And when we're ready to save, set payload from dictionary, right? Dictionary string new payload. And the dog is very upset, because I have some folks here today doing some yard work, helping clean up some things. JSON convert serialize object, and we're going to serialize our new payload. There we go. All right, so now we've got helper methods to get things back and forth so that we can save it in a way that will be consumable by Azure. So now we have to actually get, and we need to save. So let's go back over here, insert or merge an entity. So we're going to get a table operation insert or merge. Okay. For the entity that's being passed in. Okay. Await table execute async. So the table, where's the table? Okay. So we need to get the table first. All right. So I need cloud storage count first. Okay. Let's get rid of these. Account equals cloud storage account dot parse. The connection string is connection string, right? So I've got an account. And the table client is create table client. Okay, so let's call this table client equals account dot create cloud table client. Okay, now I need to give it some configuration. Whatever. Okay. So next, I need to create if not exists async. Okay, fine. Okay, so write the table itself. Table client get reference. Right? Get table reference. Yeah. There it is. Table name. Let's call this widget state. That feels good. Await table create if not exists async. Okay. And log appropriately. Well, I'm just going to do await table dot create if not exist. Create if not exists async. I have a feeling that's an extension method hiding somewhere. Nope. So this doesn't exist. Right? This should be a cloud table. Yeah, that doesn't exist. So this documentation is wrong. Ringmiss Merle says, I'm planning to be a software developer in the future. Should I just stick to a bachelor's degree? Yes. It's a great place to start, and your employer can help you get the master's degree later. There comes a point where it's a lot more important to have experience to be able to show what you've accomplished than it is to show that you have a degree. There are some organizations where you absolutely need a degree. But for a lot of folks, it's going to become, show me what you've accomplished. So, another fathead says, I enjoyed getting my master's degree and it opened up some tech lead positions. Yes, there's something there as well. Yeah, this is annoying. Create if not exist async not being there. That's a problem. Table create if not exists async is not available in the NuGet package. Right, where'd it go? Here. Yeah, this right here. Boom Boom has a link. It should be on Microsoft Azure Cosmos table. Well, it's not. Like, it's not coming. Microsoft Azure Cosmos table.client DLL. This should be on the cloud table object, which is what I have right there. It just says create cloud table client. Actually, that's telling me that, yep, look at that. OmniSharp took a powder on us here. See if we can get that to reload and pick up. Mr. Demon Wolf, going well today. Thank you. The downside to not having a comp sci degree is that there are companies that won't even consider you. This is true. I do not have a computer science degree. I work for Microsoft. You do the math. I have a music ed degree, and there are companies that won't budge on a computer science degree despite my having a decade of experience. True. Hang on. Let me do this. How you doing there, chat room? I've spoken at some pretty big conferences. I've keynoted some pretty big conferences. I'm pretty well known for being a leader in the Microsoft developer space. I don't have a master's degree. I was presented with an opportunity to teach at my alma mater, at Penn State University. I said this would be great. I would love to come in and teach an 8-week course on computer application development using C#. The hiring manager was all excited, saw that I didn't have a master's degree, and said, "Sorry, you can't work here." Doesn't matter what I've accomplished. Doesn't matter that I've written books. I've been interviewed and appeared in magazines. I have a television interview coming up. Doesn't matter. Don't have a master's degree. Do the math. Is that a requirement for you? Might be. For me, doesn't matter. That's fine. You don't want to talk to me because I don't have a degree? That's fine. Plenty of other folks do. I will say your portfolio trumps all qualifications. It does. Absolutely. So, funny thing, I don't have anything after high school, and I am full-on Node.js backend developer. Yeah. Academia and some other places that came from the higher education area. They want a degree. They do not care what your experience is, which also tells me then that they would not have someone like Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg speak there as well. Sorry, you don't have a degree. Okay, that's fine. You want companies that don't care about the degree if you can prove your experience. I'm not sure if I would say you want that. You want an organization to go work for that is compelling, interesting for you, and you're doing interesting work. Whether they want a degree or not might be important for them. I know there are game studios that for certain types of work, they want a degree because you're working in physics for their game engine. Thank you for the follow, Prop Talks. But on the flip side, folks that are building things for their website and the like, they don't necessarily need a degree if you've got great web chops, if your skills are pretty good. Yes, Mr. Gates is very smart. You dropped out of Harvard. Sorry, we're going to have to take a hard pass. That's right. So, I'm not trying to compare myself to him, but if they were to apply that same, well, you need to have a degree. Okay. Thanks so much. So, government very much puts value on paper. Yes. I haven't met. Let me add some value. Oh my gosh, M. Holloway.
Terminator 500 bonus 50 career advice from the Fritz.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. We'll make another donation to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Absolutely. We'll share some. There we go. Now we've got right. Oh, and it died. Did you see that? It died immediately right there. Bang. What was the syntax? Oh, this is great if not exists async. Right? Where'd it go? I wandered away from it. Great if not exists async. Right? Is that going to go green on me here? Nope.
Let me add some value.
Gary! I'm gonna get, I promise I'm gonna get those in there. Thank you so much.
Terminator 250 bonus 25 figured it out. Just wasn't on mobile.
Thank you. Let me drop those cheers right up here. And it was so far this, and today is what day is today? 24th. Thank you very much for those generous donations. Generous cheers. There we go. It's not a... I'm going to make a donation. Okay, so we need an async on this. Now is... Not that one. This one. It is still running. Okay. Well, it's the 25th for you. It's still the 24th here. OmniSharp and VS Code in Windows refuses to work because of a command line too long error. Oh, wow. All right, that's kind of crazy. So now that works. And now it finds it. All right. All right. Where did that go? Not run the project. We need to insert the entity. Well, this is we're getting the entity, so let's go get it. Table operation retrieve partition key row key for this type. Okay. I'm just gonna copy these 2 lines. Copy 3 lines. And we'll adapt it when we'll get over here. I feel like these first couple lines here, we're gonna want to, right? We're gonna want to take that and put it somewhere we can make it easy to access. We'll make this a too many keys. I need a keyboard with just 1 key. Do it. And this is our widget state entity. Okay. And the partition key is the channel name. The row key is the widget name. There we go. The result is table execute async. Yep, good. And we're going to return. So let's see, if we could say return as widget state. Shouldn't result be of widget state entity? Yeah, I know. I gotta do the get payload as dictionary. No, there was no JavaScript there. There was no JavaScript. Oh, thank you, Little Dan, for the question. If you have an ASP.NET Core web app project and you need an API, could you add it to the project or create a new project? Would I add it to the project or create a new project? I would add it to the project, just like I've done here. You can kind of add that in and put it right next to it, so that folks can, right, you don't have to go to other places for it. It's all in one place. Eventually, though, you would be able to lift up your controllers folder, move that somewhere else if you needed it. Oh, that was your way of getting my attention. I see what's happening here.
Boom goes the dynamite.
That would be a way to do it as well. Thank you, Little Dan, for the question. I would keep them in the same project to start. And if you need to move it later, move it later. So, my 1 key keyboard has arrived. What is that? What is it? Now, wait it. Really? Really, Hugo? I tell you. UTC is the only time developers need. No. And you like the let me add some value? Yeah. As 2 separate projects could be utilized. That way you can also put it into a container separate for your APIs and be able to deploy and scale that separately as you need it. You hope I know Morse code? No. That is a very retro keyboard. Just short out the USB power lines periodically to type Z. No. Here, look, I'm typing. No, that doesn't work, Spicy Condiment. No. That's a very mechanical keyboard. Okay, so these 4 lines I feel like I'm going to end up reusing again and again and again. So let me, extract a method here. Look at this. I love this refactoring, right? So we'll call this here. I'll do F2 so I can rename it. Get Azure table. All right. So now I've got my Azure table, and it happens in this method here. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the follow. Nick's so cool. Appreciate you joining us, Nick. And you are so cool. You're now a follower here. Welcome. See what I did there? See what that was magic. No, that wasn't magic. That was me kissing up to the new follower. Thank you so much, Nick. You only use UTC, says Boom Boom. There's times to use UTC and there's times to use local time or time zone list time. So there's different ways there. You would definitely go with the application is API approach, then split off the UI into a separate project that uses the API to access. Yeah, you have that freedom to move the API into other projects because the API ends up being just a controllers folder with ASP.NET Core, right? These things that you see here, controllers over here, those are my APIs. I could pick them up and put them into another project, and they'll work just fine from that other project. Okay. Let's do... So I've got this. All right, so now for the save operation, let's see if there's some code here that we can reuse. Insert or merge. Here we go. Operation, insert or merge, table results, customer entity inserted customer. Okay. I just want to execute it. I don't need to return it. So let's do this. We're gonna need those couple things. And we need the table, so we'll do the same thing here. var table equals await get Azure table. So now I've got the Azure table, and if I paste in, right? That dog is very upset. Insert or merge operation, table operation, insert or merge. Well, I need the entity, so we need a new, right? It was a new widget state entity. I should create it first before I start any of that. Let's do this. var entity equals new widget state entity. Okay, channel name, widget name, right? And now I can say entity dot set payload from dictionary payload. Okay. I need to put a big ol' async on the front of this. Okay. So now we're saving that. Okay. And execute the operation. Yes, please. Please do that. Well, that's easy. All right. So now we can save to Azure Storage. Okay. That was inspired. Well, thank you. If it's a, I hope you're talking about me. If it's a SPA, the application is API is the best way. So a SPA, single page application. So you've got very heavy JavaScript or Blazer front end that's making requests to a service. Yes, the API is the application. Yes. I should 100% go watch something on Netflix in bed. Oh, take care, Ashdev. Thanks so much for joining us. And congratulations on winning those stickers. Shookian, hello, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Mr. Emil 50, welcome. How long have I been coding? Long time. Professionally for more than 20 years. How's that? Is that pretty good? Let me know. Okay. So I have my save interaction all built out here, and I have the way to persist my Azure, my state as an entity here. So now I can wire back over here to my state controller when I'm actually saving these things. Well, I'm going to interact with, let's create a controller on this, right? State controller. And this is an widget state repository that we're receiving. Yep, we'll call it a repository. And I'm gonna let it refactor and create that property for me. There we have our repository. So now what I can do is I can say return OK. It's not an object. We're going to return an iActionResult. Yeah. And the entity we're... Oh, shoot. This conversion back and forth from the dictionary. Oh, no. Oh, no. We're good. We're good like this. Return OK. Repository get channel name widget name. Good. Because that's going to return our dictionary string, which is going to convert it back to JSON to send it across. Ugh. We need to figure out how to wrap this so that you can only get to this if it was same source originated. I don't know how to do that off the top of my head with ASP.NET Core. We want to do a Cours limitation there to prevent posting if you didn't get this, if you're not coming from the same server. So the same source. Missing async await. You're right. I should await that. And we should make this an async task. It's interesting that... Oh, no, it's the interface, actually. It doesn't know that. Yes, we need to get our using statement. And there we go. All right. So now to save, we're going to say await. In the payload here, we want to be a dictionary of type string. Repository, and it lost my syntax. Save. Is it gonna? Nope. Channel name, widget name, payload. Okay. Await operator can only be used within an async method. Yes. So I need to make this an async task. Good. And I should return an action result here. Get rid of some of these extra lines. And we'll just return OK. Oh, shoot. That's not how that's supposed to look. That is. Fantastic. Typing can be hard. Spa is a bit overkill for what I need. Yeah. Yeah. What source would I recommend for studying more about async await? You understand the general idea, but I always feel like I get so far and end up out of my depth. There's a couple videos that are coming out on the .NET Learn website. Notice I said .NET Learn. Different website than Microsoft Learn. Microsoft Learn is only about Azure. You'll see what I mean when you get there. But if you go to .NET and you click the Learn button up here, there are learning materials here for things, and I believe async and await are... Here we go. Asynchronous program model. But there are some videos coming about this. Right, get string async and waiting for multiple tasks to complete. This is a good article about this, but there's a video in particular coming. .NET 101 video series. And it's actually like .NET 201 that you'll see come out about that. Yeah. There are... where is it? Yeah, there's a C# 201 that has some more advanced features coming. But click through to the .NET Learn area. Don't go to Microsoft Learn. They don't have things about .NET there. Microsoft Learn has things about Xamarin with Azure. So, if you're just learning the topic, go to the .NET Learn website. Okay, so I need to figure out how to do the post limitation so nobody can just post and change the state of my widgets without me. So I don't know how to do that. Right, Cours feels like the right thing. Sean says it's frustrating that Microsoft Learn doesn't have .NET Core. I can tell you that I can't tell you a lot about that. There's a reason why. Let me explain it like this. What you're seeing, Sean, is you are seeing the seam between two organizations at Microsoft. And I'm going to leave it there. So. Okay. Let me move on here. And I think Cours is going to be the right way to do this. ASP.NET Cours configuration. Enable cross-origin requests. Or I want to limit cross-origin requests. Two URLs have the same origin if they have identical schemes. Yes. I want to limit to same origin. So, right, I don't want you to be able to make a request from somewhere else and push and update. Does it have Xamarin courses? I'm not logging in just to browse a website. Sorry. Wow. That's annoying. Okay, so use Cours, services, add Cours, add policy, and it's... Why? Okay, so they can have the name policy reused. Okay, I can buy that. With origins, blah, blah, blah. Okay. These URLs have different origins than the previous two URLs. Different domain, different subdomain, different scheme, different port. Okay. So how do I get it to... I guess I only want to add Cours when we're deployed, when we're in production. Cours is... Well, is it easy to bypass? Allows users to access resources from external websites without having to create their own web server. How to bypass it in Chrome and Firefox for testing. No access control allow origin header is present. Good. But for an API that doesn't make any sense, as APIs by nature have to provide data across various domains, enter cross-origin resource sharing allows the server to do just that. These plugins are great. They have done the job. Allows you to do things. Go to About Config. Strict origin policy. Yeah, but isn't there also a thing coming back? You can bypass, but your site must declare so in its Cours header, so Chrome permits it. You have to log into Microsoft Word to write a doc on Android. Well, okay, you're logging into the Word. Word is now a service. So, if you're working on a document using Word, yeah, you need to log in. Bypass when testing only. How to bypass? That allows the server to relax the same origin policy. I want to enforce it. I want to enforce Cours. Should I enforce an origin header? Right, so I'm enabling them here, and then how do I enforce it and say required inside this controller? Apply Cours policies to all endpoints. With endpoint routing, the Cours middleware must be configured to execute between the calls to use routing and use endpoints. Okay. So enable Cours and Razor Pages controllers to apply the Cours policy at that level. Enable Cours with endpoint routing. There we go. Enable Cours. Yeah. Right, because I don't want folks to be able to post from another machine. All you need is a browser or a package that does not respect Cours. This is the server that's going to be rejecting it. Right, this isn't the client. Right? By default, web browsers enforce Cours on their own. Then you can additionally enforce on the server side, but it's easy to spoof that header. Then I'm going to ask a dumb question. Why have Cours? If everybody can spoof it, why have it? If this is easy to bypass, why do it? If this is, like, right, the whole point of Cours, right? Why use corn syrup? What? Why do we use Cours? Here we go. Thank you for the follow. Galaxis? Welcome. Where did it go? Why do we use Cours? Security Stack Exchange. Here. I'm confused. I know Cours is to provide protocols through which website can call the resources from other domains, but is it possible to call the resource without Cours? If it is, then what vulnerability? Right. You can send get and post requests cross-domain even if the target does not use Cours, but there are some restrictions. Most importantly, you cannot read the response. Restriction is built into browsers as part of same origin policy. Right. So it prevents against data leaking across domains. However, it also stops you from publishing an API that can be read from any domain. No, that's exactly what I want. But if you can bypass it, who cares? Cours gives you the option to remove that restriction, allowing a domain that is hosting the API to announce to browsers that it allows cross-domain calls from either all or some domains. So I wouldn't say Cours is protecting against a specific vulnerability. No. So it isn't protecting at all. Okay? So I need to figure out another mechanism to protect. Thank you, Parset. I appreciate that. Because it's super easy to bypass. It's not a configuration thing. It's not a security thing that protects something. It's intended to protect the client, the user, from malicious cross-domain requests. A key with a nonce, yes. Say I know you're logged into Facebook and I make a button in my site that executes an action on Facebook. Right. Hang on, let me read this. Say I know you're logged into Facebook and you make a button on my site that executes an action on Facebook. I could make you post or delete something via my site. Right. Because it's coming through from the wrong domain. So Facebook could protect against that just happening with a button in the browser. However, in the browser, you could drop down into the console activate the disable Cours capability and go and proceed and still do it. But you have to take that extra step. So, all right, so how do we protect post from something? Yeah, a key with a nonce would be one way to do this. But I need to set that nonce somewhere so that I can pass it along as a header, right? I need to be able to generate a right nonce and get it to go through. Where did it go? An access token. Well, you're going to still be able to see the access token, right? You're going to need to rotate it on each time. That's why a nonce, I think, is going to be the way to do this. So, I think a nonce is the way to do this. So it gets published, gets sent down to the widget each time. Here's the current nonce, and if the widget needs to publish, request verification in ASP.NET would be a postback-like operation that ASP.NET does on a Razor page. We're not in a Razor page. We're on a Blazor server-side application. If we were posting back, where did it go? Here. So we're in here, we're in the model. The model is receiving this information. The model is going to have some sort of a client to be able to speak to that persistence mechanism. At this time, that persistence mechanism I could do all server-side without having to hit an API endpoint. However, if this shifts to Blazor client-side, now I'm running into needing to be able to post things into an API with authorization. Right, anti-forgery configuration happens inside of Razor pages and views. It does that automatically inside those. Blazer is what we're using here. So it's slightly different. This happens within Razor pages and views with controllers. Yeah, this is before Blazor. We're using Blazor here. We will be sending the form submission as an AJAX request. Yeah, this is inside of an HTTP an MVC controller, so it doesn't quite work the same way. Yeah, a nonce. The trite one, you're right. So it's a complex string that's randomly generated that you can use once to submit an update. However, I don't need to go through the API controller to make this work because everything is server-side. So I could call the repository object directly and do that. Right? Thinking out loud here? Right? widget state repository. What do you mean there's no? Widget state repository. Come on. Oh, I need to give it a name. Widget state repository. Widget state repository sounds like a university. Welcome to Widget State University. Their opponents today, Spacely Sprockets University. No, that's not a thing. So, can I hook into some kind of key provided by OAuth? That's not what I want. I don't want you to have to log in to OAuth to use OBS. Right? These are authenticationless instances of this that are running somewhere else. Oh, Sean's major is whatchamacallits. Oh, man. Good point. The fighting whatchamacallits from Widget State University. So we should be able to... Right? We should be able to inject that. And we'll get an Azure one of those things. And then we'll be able to save, because this is all happening server-side. So let me go back up here. Go back into startup. Follower dedupe service. Yes, we have that. Bot configuration. This we could end up pushing out somewhere else as well. Configure... So many things in here. Let's add it right in here. Services, add transient widget state university. Azure widget state repository. There it goes. What do I have a red line? Needs a using statement? No. That one. Yes, and it works. CSRF token cookie middleware. Yeah, that would, something like that would work. To have a little bit of middleware that just generated that nonce and was available for validation. Yes. Oh, yeah, working on that sentiment score. Thank you. Widget State, proud exporters of thingamajigs and doodads. No. Widget State University, proud exporters of thingamajigs and doodads. And oh my gosh. Notable graduates include the founder of the Dollar Tree store. No. Gears of Halloween are here when... What? Alright, here we go. Okay. So that's now available and it should interact. I need to actually give it a configuration string though. I'll build that later. The configuration string. And set that up so that Azure... I have a security string to do that. Let's go to iWidget State now. Did that. This should be working as well. Nope, don't need that right now. So we need to write the app settings for that. So that I actually have a thing there that does that. I don't want to get the connection string right now. I feel like I also want to have that local version of that. Yes, we do have Aldie here in the States. Widget State University proudly sponsors the Middle Isle in Aldie. You never know you needed a combined egg whisk and cocktail maker until today. Yeah, that's a thing. Parset. What do we got there? Uh-oh. Carrie's clipping me here. Oh, that's good. Interesting to see people using ngrok. It was all the rage in your circles last year, then Corp Security blocked it on all our machines. Womp womp. That's annoying. Cross-site request forgery with Blazer. Nice. Okay. I'm gonna have to come back to that because I think we can work around that right now. Okay. We got about 20 minutes to go. Take care, little Dan. I want to also configure this. I want to have another state repository sitting there that just saves to JSON files on disk. Or maybe even a SQLite file. That could be a thing. Just a SQLite file. So we have Azure Widget State Repository. Let's add another file here. Let's call this SQLite Widget State Repository. Namespace. No, not games. Public class, SQLite. Too many L's. Widget state repository. Widget state repository. Do that. Hey, I wanted the things. There we go. All right. I wish it would actually fill in what the class name is. Configuration. No. Configuration. I'm typing too fast for my own self. Right? Control dot, get the using statement. I'm going to control dot one more time. Create that property. Nah, I don't want the property. I want a connection string. I'm going to do the same thing here. Connection string equals configuration. And it was that one. Okay. So now I can get I can create the SQLite connection here and just interact and go get it. I'm not going to waste your time here today going through and building that out. It'll work. But let me go back over to the user activity train model. So now when I get a new follower here, track new followers. Track new followers. That's a train joke. Right, this, I don't even know what that's supposed to do. If the train has not started, start it. Yeah, it does that. If the train has started, I think we've already got... all of these things working. Okay, so when this happens, right, we're storing the state of these things. Invoke async state has changed. At this point, before I notify that to start, right, I want to save the state at this point. So let's do what was it? Repository? Widget state repository. Save. Okay, the channel name is... Where's the channel name? Don't I know the channel name? I should know the channel name. Channel name, yeah. Channel name. The widget name is user activity train model. And the payload, so I need to somehow say the current state of this. What if you have multiple ones of these running? Widget state repository factory manager. No, we don't have that. If there's multiple instances of this thing running, for a single channel, we need to be able to track each of those instances. I was making the assumption that there's only one running per channel. So how do we track the instance of this that's running for each channel? Crap. Crap. Let's assume right now that there's only one of these running for each channel. We'll need to figure out the persistent state later. The instance management. Ooh. All right. Let's create a property. Yeah, sure. Dictionary string nope, new dictionary. There it goes. Okay. And what do we need to put into this dictionary? Hey, I'm up here. Why is it going down there? My tab key is gone. Do you see this? Why is my... I don't like that. No, my tab key. Okay, that's working. Yeah. There it goes. Yeah. All right. So we're going to have... Right, the properties that we need to save is the counter, the last event time. Let's just store the counter and the last event time. I think that'll do. It's weird writing my own persistence mechanism. I could just persist the entire thing, just here it is. Serialize this class. But it'll take all those... Right, unless I could wrap these as don't serialize. And then we would serialize, I would still, where are my properties? Maybe I could just serialize this class. I don't want the timers either. I just want the counter right? And it was the let me get first event time, last event time. Get those, right? So that is counter, right? First event time. That needs to be a string. And last event time. Last event time to string. Okay. So now we have a way to get the current state. No, not mono max 01 Shogun. This is .NET Core in Linux. So I'm keeping an eye on the time. I've got about 13 minutes left till we have to make the cut over to dev intersection. So I've got many items we're juggling here today. Okay, so that should, if I come back up here, that should save the current state. So let's put an await on that so we're sure that is done. We also then want to be able to load the current state. Right, we want to get the current state and be able to save it. Line 156 needs an await as well. What are you doing? There we go. Thank you. Okay. So that feels right. So when you reload this, Uninitialized here, get the widget configuration, get it connected so it's listening. I think before we get it connected, we want to set the current state back. I agree with Musical Bookworm. The accessibility discussion around tabs. Tabs versus spaces. Really landed it for me as well. Folks that have vision issues are very big proponents of tabs. And appropriately so. They can set and change how that interacts with their interpretation, their presentation of the code appropriately. And you still get one tab that might be 2 characters, 4 characters, 8 characters, whatever your setting might be. And they get one appropriate for them as well. So, thank you for the follow. Sit, walk, stand. Appreciate you joining us. Look forward to seeing you in the chat room. So, yeah, I need something here to load the configuration. Load persisted configuration. Let's just load persisted configuration, right? We can just do that. We should probably await that and create that method. Make this async. So let's call this payload equals, right, it was widget state repository. We're going to get, for the channel name is channel name. Thank you for the follow. The Trite One. Hey, I saw you there earlier. Thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate that. User activity train model. Can I introduce that as a constant? Yeah. Hey, look, it even knew to call it widget name. That's pretty cool. Okay. Widget name. Yeah, look at that. Where is widget name? like that to be up near the top. Just because I like to have all my fields and constants at the top of the file. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying there, chat room? I know you know what I'm saying. It only has 2 arguments. So that has the payload. So then I could set counter equals, well, there's a check on what that counter should be, right? Wow. Love to learn elf? Love to learn elf. Did I program that to receive notification of either a website or a Twitter event, or is the Fritzbot a real person? The Fritzbot I programmed to do that. Yes, it looks at and reads the titles of web pages. It'll detect what images are shared. Yes. Kate says, I'm about to disappear for the commute home, but just wanted to say thank you for all the streaming you do. Thank you so much, Kate. I appreciate the kind words there. You've been muddling along on .NET and WinForms for so long, but these streams in the backlog have shown the light, and now you're building with MVC 5 at work and Blazer at home and having fun again. Terrific! Thank you so much for the kind words, Kate, and best of luck to you and your project. Have a safe trip home. Take care. Fritzbot is a real person to us. They're made with magic and fairy dust. The more you know. See? The Fritzbot's a real thing. No. I only want to set the counter if the counter hasn't expired, but I have the widget configuration. Right? If I'm loading and we should counter's the last one we should get. Right? Right, the first event time, let's grab that because there's already logic to handle and manage and deal with that later. First event time is going to be payload, right, because payload is a dictionary, there it is, of called first. Chat room, why didn't you call me on this? Wait, what happened? What are you doing there? That shouldn't be there. Go down here. This. Why didn't I do this? Right? So name of is a little function that you can use in C# that'll take whatever these objects are and turn it into a string with the same name. This way, we can always have the same name for things coming back out, and we don't have these magic strings that we have to get lined up. So now I can just say name of first event time, and that'll give me that time. But I need to turn that back into a time span, not time space, span, and parse that out, and there it is, right? Wait, what? A read-only span? I don't want a read-only span. That wants a format then. No. Why am I getting that as a read-only span? Take care, Carrie. Have a good one. Enjoy the upcoming raid. Oh, we're going to go see Dev Intersection. That's what we're going to do. There we go. We're about ready to go with Paul. My show, and we'll start Dev Intersection next. That's annoying. Oh, this needs to be an await here. Okay, so now first event time, oh, is a date time. All right, fine. Ha! All right, so last event time, right, which is a right? Yeah, it's a date time as well, so I'm going to do the same thing. Date time parse payload name of last event time. I'm running out of time. So now the counter, I want to set to its counter value if the last event time is within the certain amount of time to make it still valid. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you joining us. Yeah, last event time dot add, and the train duration, right? It's find those references. No. Max time between actions. Here it is. So I can say if time remaining greater than 0. Because I've already set it. Right, so I'm going to do a little test there. If the time remaining is greater than 0, then we're going to set it to int.parse payload name of counter. Otherwise, 0. Right? Time remaining, total seconds. There we go. Fantastic. All right, so now I can load my persistent configuration. I can save my persistent configuration as it changes. We're in great shape. But I am right up against time, so I am going to save my changes, and we will test this next time. I will not be here tomorrow. I've got the blessing that those of us in the States here enjoy called jury duty. Yeah, I've got to do that. Let's see. Wrote widget state persistence using Azure table storage. And I will push those changes out. They'll be available to you if you want to take a look, you want to contribute. So we have our persistence capabilities out there now. We've simplified them dramatically because we ran into all kinds of questions around Cours and using nonces and some sort of API key to pass data back and forth so that it's secured and nobody can inadvertently change the way that we interact with those things. In fact, I should even go back into that state controller. I should remove this so it can't be fetched right now. And let me just commit that. Removed state post state API state post action, because I don't want anybody to inadvertently allow their widgets to be corrupted like that. Thank you so much, everybody, for dropping by. What do you mean that won't build? Of course it'll build. Return OK. It's fine. I'm running into an issue over here. Typer namespace name could not be found in the state controller. Here, I don't have the using statement. One more. Let's do a git commit amend. Right? Ugh. There we go. Now I'll push and force so that goes out there. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining me. I am getting ready for Dev Intersection, virtual Dev Intersection with my guest, Paul Yuknowitz. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and cheat here. We're going to be over on the Dev Intersection channel. Let me drop a shout out to Dev Intersection. And we're going to set up a raid and head over there in just a second. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get that running. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. I'm not even going to set up the raid command. I'm going to just raid right in there, shut down here, and restart over there and dial in my guest. Let's see how this goes. It's perfectly easy to do. Oh my goodness. Thanks so much for joining me, everybody. We'll see you in just a few minutes on Dev Intersection. Take care.